significant double digit, on when is it? Next week? Next week, Thursday. For
Yeah.
me.
Oh
I
yeah. Oh
mean,
yeah. Number
yeah,
20. Number
20.
20. This man gets number 20.
I mean, I'm gonna get all the significant ones, huh?
Number one is significant.
Oh
And then
yeah,
the next
def,
one.
def, def,
The next
def,
one.
def, def,
The odd numbers are important,
def.
but the even ones are very important too. And they look nice. They do.
Hmm.
They say that odd numbers are manly.
Manly.
Even numbers are female. Have you heard that before?
No, they say that in Japan.
No. That's from the States. That's just like old wisdom right there. Odd numbers are male. Even numbers are female. And zero doesn't count. I don't know. What's that? I mean, no. You know what? Why? But why? Why are odd numbers male? What could be behind that? The number one
is extremely phallic.
It's phallic. All right.
The number one is extremely phallic.
Yeah. And number seven is two. 9 is two. You look at all the other numbers. Well, I mean, 3 is kind of round, I guess, but 2, 4, 6, 8, they're all,
more rounded off.
They're a bit more rounded off, But you look at the G7, G5, like it's something about those odd numbers that I don't know, just Western culture just tends to lean towards that as being the manlier number.
Masculine.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
Yeah, I want that to brew over the course of the week.
The course of
as
the week.
Always. Yes. Think about all the times where, well, that's an odd number, and that's represented by a guy right there.
Yeah, you're horrible, because now that's all I'm going to be able to see. Just driving down the highway, it's like, oh, I'm on Route 8. Yep, this is a woman's road. But wait,
this is a ladies' road. Now, Route 1 is on both sides of the country, right? And those are, I don't know if they're the manly roads, but it's a scenic route. 1 is the loneliest number that you ever knew. Men deal with solitude and as a male thing, I think. Whereas females, like, I don't know, like they, being in the herd or amongst other hens or among other females, they go to the bathroom together.
I was about to say it.
We don't. All right. For good reason, but we don't exactly know what that reason is. It's something that's it's just not natural for a guy to be like, hey, come on, buddy, let's go to the bathroom.
Let's go to the bathroom together.
No, bro.
Like, dog, you got it by yourself.
Bro. You go by yourself because you are odd. You're the odd number. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So this is the beginning of episode 19, the manly chapter. We're looking at chapter 7. All right, over there in Sapiens. And we want to start off with a recap. Let me get my banners up. I haven't even mentioned those yet. But we start off with a recap of what we discussed last week. And we got into some interesting issues. There are several different listeners that talked to me during the course of the week. I don't want to put you out there in the middle of your show or whatever, but you were saying some things that that need to be discussed. And I was like, well, hey, no. Catch me during the show. Drop something in the comment section so we know that you're out
on
there.
The live chat, not the comment section, because those are two different things. If you're watching the live on YouTube, you want to put it in the live chat so that we can see it. If you put it in the regular comment section, not going to be able to see it until after the video goes.
Which is a question too, because I don't know if they can even just leave comments while
regular comments.
Show. Yeah, while we're
I'm
having
pretty
a live
sure
show.
You can.
I know you can leave live comments, but I don't know if you can leave comments about the show while it's live. I didn't see a space for it, But that being said, contact us any which way you can during the show. Let us know that you're on. Let us know how you feel about what we're discussing. And yeah, we might have to we'll take the conversation in that direction, because this is not just a lecture. This isn't a lecture. This is a discussion about a book that we're reading called Sapiens. And Sapiens says some things that, from a scientific perspective, it makes a lot of sense. But from, religious background or, Judeo-Christian background, I mean, you're gonna feel some friction there, because it's not in alignment with that at all. In fact, sometimes it's just calling out, Christianity, just like, look, we got you in our sights. All right, we're using biblical references, but we are not subscribing to any kind of biblical background as the basis for which we define our archaeological record. Why? Because I think that's just the direction that science has gone, to take religion out of the science, that take that whole thing out of it and just base things upon what we can see, hear, smell, calculate, touch, and so on, based on the five senses, which are, subjective in their own right. But, that's understood too. This is why you have, experiments and replication as much as you can in order to take theory and make it law. So there's a lot of theories related to how things got started, creation, evolution, the beginning of the universe, all those kind of topics right there. And Sapiens discusses that, which is, that's good. That's good that we have a discussion. But in order to internalize some of these things, we have to we gotta talk. We gotta talk. And we don't internalize just every single thing, That's where that is. Did you have any discussions about folks or about creation or evolution, or the first 7 days? That's what we really got into last week. Did you have any discussions with folks during the course of the week about that?
Not specifically. So I do not have the privilege or pleasure of being able to talk to people who are listening to the show in person. I feel like a lot of the listeners that I have on my end are on the East Coast. I did get somebody asking about the show today, so I wanted to see if I could get the link and share it out and all that good stuff, which is why I was experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties just now.
Oh, just now? Yeah, no. The first 5 to 10 minutes, that's what we're doing. If my eye contact tends to stray this way or that way, it's because we're linking up with everybody, let them know that we live. I mean, that's when the link becomes available, right? So it is what it is. If you got folks joining in right now, hey, this is the beginning of the show. So, we want to give you shout outs. If you decide to join in, just be aware that we might talk about the content of your comments. We're not going to put your name out there unless you say, hey, go ahead, put my whole government, social security, address, and then glad to do that for you. Glad to do that for you. I ain't putting mine out there. That's for sure. Yeah, all of that. All of that. Yeah, man. So, we're sending out those links right now. I always send out the link to all of the champions in Corian's Champions. We're live, family.
Yeah. I mean, and that's cool. We have some family stopping in, now and again, just check in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's what it's all about.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, we got some older generation folks. We got people from different walks of life signing in too. So, I just want you to know that this space is a friendly space. We're not canceling anybody. We're not expecting to be canceled by anybody. I don't expect you to get upset with us for having this type of conversation.
Please don't cancel us.
Please don't cancel us. You know. Any updates about your channel? Like during the course of this week, have you put out any new content that the audience should know about? I mean, over there on Cross Culture.
No, actually, it's been slow going with just my channel. Life has been heavy for these last couple months. I was like, first it was like January. It's like, yeah, you know, I want to hit the ground running, you know, want to make sure I get some content out there. And then January came and gone, and then getting bad news, and then getting more bad news. So right now I'm just trying to maintain for right now. I do have something in the works, but it's not finalized yet. So definitely keep your ear out for that. Cross culture isn't just a part of Atas, you know. It is a part of Atas, but not just a part of Atas.
Absolutely. You know, I guess I've had the luxury of having a bit more time on my ends to, you know, work on these, you know, side projects, work on my craft. As you guys know, over here in TPC Japan, the People's Champ is all about, you know, bringing that culture, my culture to Japanese culture and Japanese culture to the people. So, you know, I'm involved with calligraphy. I'm learning calligraphy. And kind of, you know, my Insta and TikTok are all about calligraphy. You know, I mean, I upload other content, but basically I try to show how calligraphy is interesting to me. So the music that I put with, you know, some of the kanji characters that I write, kind of expresses what I'm feeling in the moment when I read those characters. I try to read the characters, show you, you know, the script, how it's written, go into a little bit of the etymology there, why it looks that way. But yeah, I mean, if any of you who have been following TPC Japan over the years would know, you know, my videos used to be like 30 minutes long. All right. Before CEO would say, hey, you know, keep your videos down to 3-4 minutes, or, you know, before you get all those analytics into it to say, all right, you know, the video should be this length in order to get maximum viewership. I get basically, you know, most of my exercise videos or workout videos, those are, you know, people tend to watch in the first 4 to 5 minutes. So I want to put more content in those 4 to 5 minutes. Nowadays, you look at Instagram, and Instagram is just 1 minute, 1 minute videos, unless you know, do the Reels thing, and that's something else. TikTok, it's like 30 seconds, right? These things come real quick. And that's where our attention span is going, you know, unfortunately. Go ahead. So, if you got something to talk about TikTok.
Yeah. With TikTok, I have like 2 videos on my TikTok.
Which, you know, I do right now.
So I mean, I'm trying to break in there. I'm trying to do, you know, stuff that is maybe outside of the main deal of cross culture, just to, you know, get myself out there. But I do know that they extended. So first it was like 15 seconds, right?
15 seconds.
Then it was 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Then it went up to a minute. And now I think the longest video you can record on TikTok is 3 minutes.
That's too long for TikTok, though. If you got a whole 3-minute thing, you might as well make a YouTube video. Like,
well, I mean that. I guess yes and no, but if you have a follower base that's been there for all of your 15-second videos and then jumps up to a minute, and then they're still all there, and then you jump to a 3-minute video and everybody's still there, then isn't that kind of reversing the damage that was done?
The damage, right?
I mean, because it's detrimental to our attention span, because we're swimming around like goldfish, you know, like, oh, this is a nice treasure chest. Oh, this is a nice treasure chest. Like,
yeah, you know, it really is. It's probably bad for you probably is bad for you. I can't say that it actually is bad for you, but it's probably not great to have these little, micro doses of stimulation through the phone. I don't know if that's good or bad, but to not be able to focus on something for more than 15 seconds is a problem.
Yes.
All right. And
that's a big problem.
we are training, this generation that are into that thing, that's okay, by providing it and just, this is your 15 seconds. Boom. That being said, like, if you are like into marketing and all that stuff, and you're trying to get your product out there, and you're doing a pitch, those first 15 seconds are crucial. All right. So if you learn how to do that from an early age, you're going to be better at marketing things. And when our economies are based on, services, providing services, you do need to be able to present something really well within that first 15 seconds to get that catch, get that hook. So get your TikToks up. And then when you find that you are able to keep an audience, go ahead and shift them over to Instagram, or shift them over to YouTube, where you have more content. And then shift them over to your website, where they can find most of the content. They have it written out. You have it written out in a clear, understandable way. And that's where you have your real followers. And, I don't know. That's the new kind of age of marketing, I think, at this point. Like, you have your hub, your website, but not a lot of people are, accessing the website. They're accessing the YouTube. They want to hear what you got to say, and hear what you're going to, provide free of charge first. And then you have your true fans, or your loyal fans, that are going to subscribe to your content. They're going to reach your website. They're going to, patronize you, as it were, on Patreon.
Patronize you, not patronize you.
How you feel about Patreon, man? Like, what do you think of that whole, mindset right there? And I know we're gonna get into the content. All right, we're gonna get into content, but I need to discuss that, get that off my chest first, because, like, I find that there are websites now. People have their real content behind closed doors. They have the basic, like the tester over there on YouTube. But if you really want to get the real deal, the whole 9 yards, the whole
enchilada,
Monty, the full Monty, as it were. Hello. Hey, that's my father's name. Look, I know the full Montgomery. Then you go to the website and you become, like, a loyal subscriber. You can join the newsletter. Back in the day, I don't know if I'm putting on the newsletter right about now, man. That's not me.
But now all it takes is like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe.
Hit the bell. Hit the bell.
Hit the bell icon, please.
Bell icon, so you get that notification
when we go live.
There was a speaker talking about addiction. And she was a really good speaker. And I found her on YouTube. And then I went to her site, and it's like, it's going to cost you either $100 for the 3 month, $100 for a 1 month plan, $200 for a 3 month plan, or $300 for a yearly plan. Yeah, a year to get off of, like, addiction and stuff like that. And I'm like, or you don't have to subscribe at all. You can just stay on YouTube and get the content kind of free of charge, but no customized program, for your specific situation. And she was cool with any of that. Whatever you decide, you decide your level of commitment. If you want to address, like, addiction, sometimes it's enough just to hear a good word. Other times, like, you need to work with a professional. This is how we provide it online. You get your 1 month, and you realize that's not enough. That's, if you're dealing with, like, an alcohol, addiction or whatever, and I don't mean to trigger anybody. If you're dealing with that type of thing, then maybe a month is not enough. Like, it's a pull. Like, there's a neuro, like, pathway that's in your mind that you may not work that neural pathway for a whole month, but as soon as you have a sip, it's just like,
boom. Or the opportunity comes up. Like,
yeah. The opportunity presents itself, and it's like, oh, I remember. You start looking back at all those times where, wow, the alcohol helped me during this rough time. And I don't mean to pick on alcohol. Like it could pick your poison.
Anything. Yeah.
Pick your poison. When I had that cigarette, man, I was dealing with some things at that time. And there's a connection between that cigarette and just feeling relief. So, that whole what was it? The cue. Come on. Cue and
Cue.
then because you have a cue, which is the trigger, and then you have the action, and then you have the cue, the dopamine, and then the action, and then you kind of get in that loop. You have the action and you feel great, and then you kind of go back into that thing again and again and again and again. Like our brains, and this is the segue into chapter 7, but our brains are set up in this kind of interesting pattern where we have our prefrontal cortex, which is just helps us think about things, but underneath that, right under that layer, you got the basal ganglia, and that thing is telling you to just repeat actions. It's your autopilot, and we need autopilot in order to go through life. It's 60% of our actions are based on just automatic procedures. I'm not thinking about how my hands should be moving right now. They're just going in autopilot.
Thinking about breathing. Could you imagine?
Yes. I'm not thinking about breathing. I'm not thinking about blinking. Like, you can only think about that for like, I mean, like about 10 seconds, unless you really just focus. And then you can't count the number of seconds while you're doing that. You can't talk and thinking about and blink. You can't do those 3 things. That's not going to work. And now work. I don't know what I've been on.
Not gonna work.
Not gonna work.
Not gonna work.
I was telling my wife about that last night because my wife is Japanese, and I was like, "Go ahead. I want to see how you say it." Yeah, that's not gonna work. And she was like, "That now work." It was like it wasn't now walk. I was like, no. Chigo. That's not. Have you taught your wife any Jamaican words?
Oh,
what happened? Because it's so interesting.
I did one worse than that.
Oh no.
I taught my daughter the patois word for mom. Muma. So, muma. So like she came in one day, like we were out shopping, like we had a little date or whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, you're tough like your mama. Mama? It's like, yeah, that's what you call your mom, mama.
Yeah.
So she came back into the house. Mama, mama. I was like, oh yeah.
Oh no. How did your wife react to
that? She's actually been encouraging me to teach my daughter patois. I kind of don't want to so early because I can see there's a little bit of a struggle with English and Spanish as far as speech and continuing in one language and syntax. So I don't want to give her more than she can handle, because it seems like right now she can understand both languages, but sometimes she will default to another language if she doesn't know the vocabulary in the other.
Right.
So you get mixed, kind of a hodgepodge sentence. And of course the syntax is off because English is backwards compared to the rest of the world.
Oh, that's interesting. Because I've heard English and Japanese are like the reverse of each other, right?
Well, yeah, but would you say red apple or would you say apple red? In Japanese, you say apple red.
Yeah.
Akairingo.
Yeah.
No, but akairingo is red apple.
Right.
Huh.
That's right. So it's
all right. So
reverse.
In I mean
more like
Spanish, you say manzana roja. So it's literally the opposite. The adjective comes after the noun.
I mean, we do that when, like, the modifier. The modifier comes first in Japanese and then the word. In English, we tend to say you have the noun first and then the modifier, if the modifier is mad long. If it's short, like red apple, then we put it before the noun itself. But an apple that's red and delicious and nutritious, that's mad long. So all that's red, delicious, and nutritious will go after. You know, if it's just 2 words, we'll say a red, delicious apple. Bam, bam, bam. You know, but I guess like the rule is like if it's 3 words or more, then that's it. You know, but let's get into the subject here. Back to Sapiens. Chapter 7 touches on how our brains work. Memory overload is the name of the chapter. Yeah. Let me see, where's my banner? You know what? If people listen to the podcast can't even see the banners, but
they can't. But it helps us to stay on topic.
It does. It does.
Just a little bit.
I'm so fast to just like run around. Let's see. All right. Memory overload. I'm actually going to put that at the forefront.
At the forefront, like the prefrontal cortex.
That's what you did there. That was clever. Yeah. So what happens with memory overload? There was one point in there that they discussed, like, you know, how our brains work. They're starting to use like numbers in order to. Okay, there we go with the comments. All right, that's not going to throw me off. Thank you for joining. Yes, we have good vibes going on today. Thank you. All right, so you know how our brains kind of focus on, you know, one thing or another, using numbers in order to organize things. And you know, numbers are also a construct, one of those subjective reality things, you know,
imaginary things that only we give meaning to. Yeah.
Right. And the really interesting thing that I want to touch on related to numbers is how they shape our perception of reality, you know.
Okay.
When we look at, for example, like money, you know, you look at the numbers in your bank account. You kind of like some people, including myself, you know, make life decisions based on what those numbers look like. You know, some people's emotions are shaped, including myself. Sometimes my emotions are, you know, I feel like rock when those numbers look good or when they look bad. You know, and that's another just a concept that we've made up. You know, you're willing to work for a company so that they'll put more numbers on your page. You know,
oh yeah,
and you know, you live out your whole life. Like, you know, if you have a house or you have an apartment or whatever, like you looking at those numbers dwindling down, you know, or coming back, and you just realize that, like, just putting that in perspective sometimes, you know, rolling out the perspective and saying, hey, those numbers are just a concept in my mind. You know,
but the world is run by these numbers, though. It's not like it's not just an imaginary construct that you have. It's an imaginary construct that the whole world has. Yeah, it's, like, it's been around for so long. It's not like you having your imaginary friend. Like, oh well, you know, I can see him. He's pink with purple polka dots. Like, well, nobody else can see him, so therefore, doesn't mean much to me. But it's funny that you brought up the idea of tying your feelings to that, because it reminded me of a meme that I saw one time.
Okay.
And it's saying the meal after you get your paycheck, and it's like steak dinner, you know, nice roasted potato, you got some broccoli there, and, you know, a glass of wine, you know, it's clearly at a fine dining establishment.
Right.
And then it's like the meal right before payday. It's like top ramen, Maruchan, like some type of
yes,
oil fried instant noodle, and it's like, yep, just gotta make it. Just gotta make it.
Just gotta make it, you know. So here's the question, you know, and this is a discussion point, but it's not that there's a right answer or wrong answer here. So I don't just feel like any judgment or whatever. But that being said, let me come in close for this, because do the numbers follow the actions, or do your actions follow the numbers? Do you find that you can make choices that will affect the numbers in a positive way more often, or do you feel like your choices are being made based on the numbers that you see at that time?
Well, I would say it goes a little bit both ways, and
which it should. I'm looking for the majority, though.
The majority of the time, it's I guess the numbers making my decision for me, and it's because I'm thinking, because I only get paid once a month. That's a concept for a lot of people in the state, that it's just like, once a month. Come on, I'm trying to get a job that I get paid every week or every other week, not once a month. But in where I am in California, it just once a month. That's it. So you start to think about, okay, when this paycheck comes in, what needs to go out immediately? Then what needs to get budgeted for the rest of the month? And when the money comes in, I'm automatically like, if the money comes in, I'm telling you, I get paid the last day of the month, right? Unless there's a weekend right there, then we'll get paid before the last of the month, never on the first. So it's always before the first.
It doesn't roll into the next month.
Yeah, no, it never rolls into the next month.
This is just like Japan, So I'm with you. Yeah.
All right. So the moment that comes out, me and my wife, we're paying all our bills. Boom, 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 boom. All the bills get paid for the whole month. The only thing that really, really needs to get paid, need to put some money aside for savings, need to tithe.
Do you do that? Do you do that up front?
What? Have to.
All right, like that moment you paying out everybody else. Do you take, your 10%, put it on tithe, 10%, put it in savings? And then let everybody else.
I'm bad about the 10% in savings. I'm bad about the 10% in savings.
I gotta creep that over to the side quick, because I cannot do that 10%.
It's there, right? It's just like, dang, those numbers looking a little thick right now.
Yes. While they're thick, I gotta shave that off the top fast, because it will be gone.
Yep. So it's then after that, you're thinking, okay, well, what can I get away with for groceries per week? All right, budget that out. All right, so what can we do for fun stuff? I start to think of, okay, maybe I want to go out for a daddy-daughter date. Or maybe I want to take the whole family out. Okay, so when can I do this? Are there any trips in the month? All right, boom, boom, boom. Maybe there's a video game coming out that I want.
You make that think about that too. All when that paycheck comes in?
Usually I can make the decision about a video game months in advance. I'm just like, all right, I'm not gonna starve myself, but I'm gonna make sure that I'm not indulging as much, so that I have a little bit extra money, so that it doesn't hurt so
Got
much.
There.
Yeah.
And
I'm trying not to take that out of like savings or anything like that.
So do you have that in cash somewhere, or you got it in a separate account somewhere? Are you looking at numbers in order to represent that money and that idea, that goal? Or do you have like, again, is it numbers in an account somewhere, or
it's
do you
numbers in an account,
like physical thing? Because sometimes it's nice to just have the cash in the thing. I got a piggy bank right there. Let me go get that piggy bank. I'm gonna get that piggy bank. Go ahead, answer the question. Go ahead, answer the question.
If I have it in front of me, I'm gonna want to spend it. Like I withdrew $100 this past weekend. I spent $20 that day. I spent $47 on gas. I spent I think there was another small purchase that I was like, you know what, I just got to use the cash, because if it's in my pocket, then sometimes I just forget about it. And then as of right now, I think I have, I'll pull this out. I have
You pulling out the
three
wallet?
crumpled up dollars. Yeah.
Pulling
Oh
out,
no,
not the wallet, man. Pulling out the pocket.
Four crumpled up dollars, right? So these have been floating around as change from whatever purchase.
Yeah.
And then in the wallet, I should have. Oh no, in the wallet, I actually have 20, which I'm surprised about, because I thought I only had 10.
That's a blessing.
Oh yeah, well,
I'll take it.
I'll take it. But it's usually what happens with cash with me. I spend it.
If it's
and
in
I
your
think
hand,
that
it's gonna get spent.
if it's in my hand, it's easier to spend. And I think the reason for that is how I was raised. So growing up, it was like, oh, you get a little bit of money, you go to the corner store, you spend it. You know, you get a couple dollars, you go to the corner store, spend it. So it was always this thing of like, okay, well, if I have this money, then I need to spend it. And then I got a debit account, and it was like I got money and I spent it, and then I was charged with overdraft fees because of somebody else's error. So I was like, all right, clearly I need to do something different. And you know, these are the things that shape you. You know, you're young, you're dumb, you burn your money, and then you learn how to save it.
Oh man.
Or you learn from somebody else.
When I was young and dumb, man, those overdraft fees, I was looking at the numbers that they were showing me, and that hurt. Because it was like, when that thing dips under zero, they're gonna charge you either $30 or $60. They're gonna pay
or 60.
Yeah, it was one of the two. I can't remember which one it was. Now, you know, like, you know, and once you're off the frying pan, you forget the heat. You know, boy, those overdraft fees was hurting. All right, it was hurting. And in fact, you know what it was? I think it was not Wells Fargo, Wachovia. Nah, for that it was
Wachovia,
First Union. It was First Union before it was Wachovia. And
whoa, hold on. Point of contention.
Go ahead.
Is it Wachovia or Wachovia?
Man, they used to watch over you real good. They used to watch over you real good, you know. You know,
my guy, I can't see you. I can't see you.
Now they can't see me.
Yeah. Let me see you. Let me see you.
Oh, that's what you mean. I thought you meant watch over you like. That's all right. I see what you mean. So what happened was, I used to work at this credit card company, and that's the, you know, story time right here. I used to work at a credit card company in 2006, 7, and 8. And we were giving cards to people in the subprime category before Lehman Shock, as the world was watching people with bad credit get worse credit. This credit card company was giving cards to people with bad or no credit, and there were fees. All right. And there were numbers. There were numbers called delinquency rates. And the delinquency rate was like 40%.
40%?
40%, bruh. Like, that was usurious. All right.
That's horrible.
That was hardcore. Look. If you pay everything on time, then you're not going to look at that delinquency rate. You're not going to get, it was a delinquency rate plus delinquency fee. And the fee was $60.
$60. So they $60 plus the 40% of the purchase, whatever purchase went delinquent. Wow.
So they didn't want to talk to me on the phone because I was the collector. I was Mr. Collector. My name was Mr. Baker. All right, that was my nickname.
Mr. Baker.
Yes, Mr. Baker. And it was, you know, it's my name. It's, you know, Kareem or whatever. So it's Kareem Baker. So when people picked up their phone, I say, this is Mr. Baker calling from your bank, because technically we had a bank attached to it. I'm calling from your bank. Can I speak to John Brown? And John Brown would say, Oh, this is John Brown. This is John Brown. Yes, I'm calling from your bank. I just want to have a word with you about your account. And they have an account with us, so we could say that technically we weren't a collection agency. We were the collections department
in the bank, for the bank.
Yeah. Or for a company that was providing credit cards that had a bank. We weren't actually in the bank section. All right.
No,
and he says, yeah, I'm calling from actually say I'm calling from this. Oh, you guys again. You
oh dang.
Remember the next time you oh man, they were
speaking in Morse code, like
yes. Look, all right, it was wild because of the numbers that they were seeing. They associated those numbers with anger, fear, resentment, guilt, all of that. And it came out in words, man. It came out hard. Look, I'm going through some things in my life right now. All those people that were going through those things, yes, they were experiencing a number deficiency. I don't have enough numbers. We require more minerals. Like they were going through all of that.
Please construct additional pylons.
Yes. Like, I just got to work harder to get more numbers, right?
Yeah.
Because of what those numbers represent. We attach so much value to the numbers, we make life decisions based on the numbers. We treat somebody some kind of way because of the numbers that they appear to have or don't have. All right. I'm not judging anybody for this thing, but you gotta understand, and what this book does kind of help you understand that's just a construct. That's just an idea that we've created in our minds in order for our society to work. It's not that you can just ignore it, but you can compartmentalize it and make it, put it in its place so it doesn't give you too much stress. It doesn't lead you towards depression. You can still get out of that because those numbers can be affected. And the idea, that's been rolling around my mind this whole week is that there is, a supernatural, element to life. There's not just what you see and, like you feel like this is it. If my numbers don't look any better by next week, I'm not going to make it. That's not all life comes down to. There is a supernatural, right? And to get yourself in a better place so that you're not affected by numbers, but more affected by the book of numbers.
Well,
see what I did right there. See what I did right there. Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. Like, how do you put yourself in the right mindset? How do you put your heart in the right place in order to not be over affected by numbers and more to be affected by divine providence, will, whatever you want to call it.
So
that's the direction I want to take the conversation.
Jumping on that, it's kind of funny because I don't know if you've heard of the idea of wellness. But I feel like it's more the idea of what the Jewish people call shalom.
Shalom, right? Baby. People have been talking about that all week. Go ahead.
Shalom is peace. Literally, the word means peace, right? And you greet somebody shalom. When you leave, you say shalom. And it's this type of like, I wish you peace in all aspects of your life. When you pay somebody back, you owe somebody, you pay them back. Okay, shalom. Like there's peace here. There's no more like me calling you and try to get shalom. If we take this concept and we look at the idea of wellness, because I feel like in America, it's a relatively new thing, but looking at all the different aspects of life and how you can correct those different aspects of life. So everything from social to financial to your mental well-being, to your emotional well-being. There's 8 different aspects that fit into wellness. There used to only be 5. There used to only be 5, and I knew the 5, and then they branch it out to 3 more. And I was like, come on now. But one of the ideas is spiritual wellness. Right. So now we have spiritual wellness.
I'm with you.
He's like, no. What are you doing? You took a left field.
No. I was thinking about it. For a second, and yeah, they did have like a limited number, but then they're coming to accept spiritual wellness, even in the secular community. Spiritual wellness. What does it mean, according to their definition? Go ahead.
The thing about it is that spiritual wellness was in the original 5. What got added was I know that financial got added. I can't remember the other 2. But so it's like you said, we have a secular mindset that is saying we need spiritual wellness. So what does this mean? It means that you have to come to grips with the fact it ain't all about you.
Right.
And once you come to grips with that, then you'll start to act differently. What I do affects other people. What I do affects my people, the people that I call dear, the people that I say I love. What I do affects the people that I don't like. You know, I'm not in the universe by myself. I'm right. Once you realize that, you're no longer self-centered. You know, you start to center on other people, and it's that concept that it makes you want to think. Because if we're laying awake at night, because we don't have any memory overload, we're actually going through every interaction that we've gone through in that day. And hey, I'm one of those people who can think back to 5 years ago and be like, dang, I did them wrong, or dang, they did me wrong, and then dwell on it.
Yeah.
And we have a great ability to learn. Like, you don't want to hear it. Who wants to stay in school for the rest of their lives? But we have this ability to learn not only from books, but to learn from experience. So the book was talking about how the hunters and gatherers, or mainly the gatherers, had to be able to have a working encyclopedia in their heads. Like, oh, this mushroom growing by this tree at this time of year? Nah, don't touch. Oh, but if it's growing in this other season and it looks the same, then, you know, it's good. But for us to have gotten there, it's taken so long. And now, just like what you were talking about, the attention span,
right?
You know, everybody used to be running around with, you know, little black books. And I feel like that was the beginning of, you know, not utilizing our minds.
Not internalizing it.
Yeah. Internalizing it. How many phone numbers do you know? It's like, ooh, I know my wife's phone number. I know a few other phone numbers that, like, in the case of emergency, I can contact somebody. But I don't know a lot of phone numbers. No. If if me and my wife got into an accident or something, I can't call her because she in the worse than me. So. I'm done.
You can call the authorities.
Take it out.
You can call the authorities.
You can call 911. Yeah, but I mean,
that's it. Yeah. How many numbers do you have? I can call my grandma's number. I don't even know if that's a number anymore, and it's not going to reach my grandma. You know.
No. You talking about
You don't have to say the area. 279260.
Yeah. But you realize that there was another one. There was another one.
Oh,
they had 2 numbers in the house at one time.
I don't know no other number. I don't know no.
Yeah, they had 2, and I don't think that they have a landline anymore. To my knowledge,
doesn't reach anybody.
Not at all.
Yeah, 22.
I know my dad's cell phone number. Like, I know that's his cell phone.
He doesn't know to change his number, and that's good. That's a previous generation. Look, that number is attached to you. I can remember my ex's girl. I remember how to dial in her number because I had to at that time.
Oh, to actually dial it in.
Yeah. I had it stuck in my head. I checked it like once every 2 years or so. I was like, is this still in there? Yeah.
Dang.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Probably even got that number no more, and that's good. But that number represented that person for so long. And that was a part of my mind, like that was still fresh. It wasn't just like, okay, well, you can use Line or whatever, so you don't really need to call anybody. You can use this app, so you don't need to call anybody. You don't even have to ask somebody for the number now. In Japan, we use something called Line.
Line.
Do you guys gotta have Line over there?
Well, we have it. It's an application. I had downloaded it before I went to Japan just in case.
Yeah, but nobody
I never wound up using it. No, it's not big.
Well, I mean, it's for people from Japan or Korea that are in the States. You still connect with your people back home. You don't have to switch over to some other system. But yeah, now you don't ask anybody for their phone number. You're like, you got Line, and then like you take your smartphone. Oh, hey, there's my wife's face. I drew that picture, guys. It's not an actual thing, and I'm covering up the whatever. All right. So look what happened. When we use Line, we just shake it. We shake the phone at the other person's phone. It's called fudu.
What the heck?
You shake it at their phone, and then the number goes in.
Yeah.
Like, oh, are you TPC Japan? Yes, I am. All right, accept it.
Yo.
Thank you for adding me. I'll add you back.
Fudu.
That's fudu.
Furikake. Get some furikake.
Yeah, just like you're putting sprinkles on your rice, like bird food.
Oh gosh.
Flakes, fish flakes. No. I love furikake. Get out of here.
Furikake. Yeah. No, I mean it's great. I mean, but that's what it is. It's literally sprinkling flavor over your rice.
Yeah, sprinkling
or on the outside. I'm thinking about Gohan and onigiri right now, and
Gohan's gonna be.
My mouth is watering.
Yeah. I'm not thinking about numbers at that point. I'm thinking about putting away pounds. All right.
Pounds is still a number.
It is.
Mercy.
But no, you make a really good point. What was your point again? Go ahead. No, because I was thinking about my previous point.
You make a really good point. I wish I remember what it was. That is what we call memory overload.
No. No, we were talking about numbers. And remember numbers in the past, and we were better at doing that before. There it is.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And Japanese, interestingly, the way that the education system was set up before, you just had to remember lists. All right. My kanji teacher could tell you the list, all right, from the first emperor to the last emperor. All right.
Rote memorization.
Single one in order. Blah, And I don't know if he had a memory attached to each one, along the way, but like he could tell you exactly who was when and where, And that was part of the oral tradition. It was all written in the books, but you have to incorporate that stuff. Like 50 years ago, 60 years ago, we still had a world where knowledge was, having knowledge in your head was a premium thing. People with more knowledge in their heads were better off. Now the mantra, what we're telling each other, and I don't know if it's it's gonna last, it's gonna stand the test of time, but it's how you use that knowledge or how quickly you can access that knowledge in order to build, with teams of people and groups of people. So it's not really so much a premium on having it in your head.
But it's as long as it's more so connecting. So if somebody needs something and somebody who has it, being able to connect those two individuals.
Connect it, get access to it. But there's a lag right there. And if the other person has that knowledge, and then they can use it, it's like you need to access that person in order to get to it, or you use your internet to reach that. Sometimes the internet may be down. Sometimes you can't connect to that person while you're not able to connect. The opportunity's gone. Yep. Yeah, the opportunity will pass you by. Somebody asks you, what's the capital of such and such and such? Let me get back to you right quick. No, matter of fact, I'm gonna go ask.
Let me Google it.
Man, Yeah. Yeah. Let me only ask Google right quick. Well, if you could ask, if I could have asked Google to get the answer, I wouldn't ask you in the first place. I was looking to see, where your mind was at, how much you care about the people that are there. You say, all right, what's the capital of Ukraine? Kiev. How much do you know Kiev? Do you know what they're going through? Do you know what when the war happened with Russia in the first place, when Ukraine got its freedom 30 years ago. All right, 91. It was 30 years of independence that they had from Russia in the first place.
Dang.
And then before the Russian Revolution, before Stalin just went up and down, taking spots, 1918. All right, you look at 1917, Ukraine was their own people. All right. And that whole World War II on the Western Front, that was basically over Ukraine. World War II was over Ukraine. It was not just the whole Western blitz with Germany or whatever. Like on the east side of it, you had Germany right there trying to cut through Ukraine to take over to the east. So Ukraine is not like a big joke where you just, it's not a big joke. I'm not even, giving it that label, but it's, we act like in the West, oh, it's just like this little country or whatever. Like we feel bad about it, but no, it's a big.
But they don't know the history behind it. It's just like, it's another cause for us to fight for. Like, no, it's like know what you're fighting for and know why you're fighting. Don't just pick up a cause to pick up a cause.
Yes, man. Like, those people look like us, blah, blah, blah. No, hold on. Ukraine was providing so much grain, all right, so much food for Stalin's Russia. Like, I mean, that was their gold mine, all right? It's no joke. Ukraine has a lot of resources in that regard. And just to have that just lean back into Russia, or for Russia to just come in and take that, it's a big deal. It is a big deal. It's really interesting the world's reaction to that too. And I mean, I love to talk about that subject, but we're reaching the wrap up time. So I'm not gonna unwrap that puzzle just yet. Is there anything that you wanted to discuss about chapter 7 before we move on? Because we on 8 next week. It's going to be a whole big bonanza because it's well, I'm going to say next week, but I'm going to say next episode because I know there's some things going on, family wise, and I don't know, this, that, and the other. But I know that you got 20, and it's going to be
I got 20.
It's going to be huge. Is there anything that you want to discuss about 7 before we wrap that up?
I kind of wanted to jump into the whole language and how a full set of symbols became into a language, starting with the cuneiform and then the Egyptian hieroglyphics, and then what we have, which is known as Arabic number system, but the Arabic numbers are completely different. But because the Arabics, I guess they conquered with it, like it's stuck type thing. History is written by the victors, that type of stuff. I just want to throw that in there because I find languages very interesting, and I did my religious studies, and one of the things that comes up is cuneiform because it's one of the oldest languages, and it looks like a bunch of cones, like pointed different directions, and it's cuneiform. It's literally pronounced cuneiform, like cuneiform.
Do we get cone and cune from the same place? Hold on. Do we get it from the same place?
I have no idea.
I see the connections before the connections are made. All right.
Because if you're working with if your neuro-linguistic programming cuts out the CU sound, then you're not going to be able to say it. So it's possible that that's what happened, and then it went through a couple different languages, and then we get cone. Cune can easily become k. That's easy.
It's easier to say. Yeah.
Yeah. K instead of k.
Yeah,
what I mean,
and that's that's I'm sorry, but that's where we go back to. We was talking about just a little bit earlier with that can do it and can do it. She was saying can do it.
Can do it.
I was like, look, katakana has kya. Go ahead and say kya.
Kya.
Kya. All right. Can do it. You can do it. All right. And she couldn't get it. She was like, can't do it. Nande. Naze. Why? Wakarimasen.
Wakarimasen.
Yo, then let's get a piece of that 7-8. Let's go 7-8 next time. All right.
7-8. So we're gonna slide in from 7 to 8.
Slide in from 7's language section into 8, and then just have a big blowout bonanza. All right, because next week is gonna be huge. That's number 20. My last Instagram video was number 20. All right?
Word?
And it was no, it was the 20th kanji video. 20th kanji video. It wasn't my on YouTube. I'm already past 20 videos easily now. Oh, even more now. They say that a critical number is 35. All right, I just gave them a look.
So we got to get there.
Yeah, no. I'm pretty sure we got 35 videos on each channel. It should be 35 on each channel, but this is getting big. It's rolling
but
over.
Just for Atas, we got to get
just
to 35.
For Atas alone. Oh yeah, we're gonna get 35.
Got to get 35,
45. Right? All right, we're gonna blow this thing out of the water. I'm just letting you know, and giving you a prelude, because I if you give me an opening next week, I'm gonna slide into the language just like, man, you speak everything. Is that tongues?
I mean, we can go languages. We can do languages. Because I know you know some French, you know some Spanish. You definitely are fluent in English and Japanese. I know some Haitian Creole, some Spanish, Greek, some Greek and Hebrew, a very, very little bit of German. Ooh, there's something else there. Japanese is there.
Yeah, it's all in there. It's all in there. But let's blow this thing up. Make it huge.
Yeah.
All right. Chapter. We got to. All right. But 7-8.
7-8. Yep. Next week. It should be next week. Barring any craziness. But if we have to skip a week, we gotta skip a week. But episode number 20 on Cross X Culture. We're gonna blow it out. It's gonna be a blowout. All types of craziness. We're gonna have to do it.
Yeah, that's coming up next. All right, stay tuned. It's your boy TPC Japan telling you, go out there, get a pencil, a pad, and write it down, because that's what it is. Peace.
It's your boy Ace. Until next time, you already know what it is. Stay prayed up and be blessed.